guys, welcome back to Winter Garden Coffee and Collab. We are coming to you straight from Foxtail Coffee in Plant Street on Plant Street in Winter Garden. I have with me today a dear friend, Lyn Burch. She is the Director of Children's Ministry at Lifebridge Church / Quay Church. And you guys don't know this because you're listening at home, but this whole place just got quiet. Just so you know. I'm like, oh my word, now I'm speaking for everybody. So, Lyn, thank you for coming.
Of course.
I'm so excited to talk about this. Now, here's the game that we're doing today. This is a new one. I haven't played this with anybody, so congratulations.
Awesome.
So what we do is we pick a card, and then it says something like non-dominant hand for us. And so we use our mine would be my left, so non-dominant hand, and then you have to take whatever color this is, right? So an orange with a non-dominant hand. So I'm just gonna use my picker up here, and I'm gonna bebops this one right here. Although, is this... So it came with tweezers, but they're not big enough.
Nope.
What do you think we should do? Director of Children's Ministry?
Well, we probably should use the tweezers, but I would say let's use our fingers.
All right, we're going rogue, y'all. Okay, so here we go. My little guy is down. You can go ahead and pick a card.
Do you want me to pick one now?
Yeah, go ahead. We just kind of go back and
Hand
forth.
over one eye.
Hand over one eye. Okay.
Okay.
And then a blue. Well, you're doing all right.
go.
We're doing okay, guys. Okay, so imagine this. You're granted 60 seconds to speak to every parent in Winter Garden. What's the one thing that you wish they knew about how their child experiences God? Oh, I can't wait to hear what you're going to say, though. It is hard, I understand.
So, I think in my experience, children experience God through their parents, through the blinders of what mom and dad see and believe.
How am I already tearing up? This is gonna be one, guys. This is gonna be one. Go ahead. You can continue. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna cry
I think that for children, everything we try to do with them at church is fun, to take them into an understanding that God is fun.
Yeah.
And God is big, and God is someone to be explored and to look for. But they do oftentimes look first at their own parents. Like, where do mom and dad see God? And so with us in my family, I feel like our children saw God through mom and dad, and they have grown their own relationships in Him. Through our church. We want them to come in, and mom and dad usually safety's first, and totally get that, and kids need to feel safe. But we want them to have fun. We want it to be an experience where, like, this is awesome. I want to do it more. I want to keep seeing what this is all about.
Yes.
So that's kind of the way I would look at it with kids and their view of God.
I love that. So we just had VBS recently. Navigate is the VBS. And Navigate has been the last few years, right? It changes. There are pieces of it that changes, but it's been Navigate.
So Navigate is more of a parent conference that we felt like in our, just in society, parenting's hard. And I have older kids and a younger kid, and you want help. We need help. And so we kind of created this event for parents, but then kids get the full VBS fun, the total focus on who God is, and a crazy fun week. But parents also have the opportunity to go and learn during this time. So it switched about 3 years ago, and we're still learning how to make it better every year.
I love it. I think it's great. I think it's especially good for parents to have the experience of, I'm not just dropping my kid off so they can learn about God.
Right.
It's, I'm dropping them off and I'm staying, and I'm also going to learn something about what I need to learn about, kid related and stuff, but really, God related as well. Like, it's how does it all work together? Yeah.
My favorite part of Navigate, if I can tell you this.
Please tell me.
Is we start off every night with family worship, because to me, when we are singing and we're worshiping in kids, even from our littlest walkers up to our fifth graders, we are singing, we are dancing, we are laughing. And worship is so important. And worship can be anything. But when you put families together, what's fun is to watch the parents doing it like the kids. So we have motions to song. Our worship team up there is leading, and they're doing dances and they're singing. It's just fun. It's so fun to have families together for 20 minutes. You know, for 20 minutes, you're all sitting together, you're singing, you're worshiping, and then you separate. And that's my favorite part. Honestly, I feel like that's kind of where this started. Like, what do we want to see? We want to see mom, dad, kids. That's the best part. Watching families jump in with their kids. So
it is the best part, because how many times whenever they're sitting at home, no matter the family, this is no shade on anybody, we all do family different. We do family life in our homes different. But how many times are you sitting at home and your kid is like wanting to show you something and you're like, I'm busy, I can't right now, or whatever. That's a place where you're not doing anything else. Right. You really are, like, you're worshiping, and then also they're getting to kind of like show you how they worship too. That's Nora.
Yeah.
Nora went up the aisle and she was like face to face, I feel like, with the person who was dancing as well. Because there were, how many dancers were up there?
we had 15. We have about 6 that were leading worship, and then there were probably 10 or 12 that were doing the movements and the motions and just having fun.
Yeah.
Like that's our goal, is to have fun in worship.
Yeah.
And to kind of engage everyone. Like, you have to really not want to be there to sit in a chair at that point. Like,
you really do.
You cannot. You're drawn into it.
Yes. Oh, agreed. Okay, so would you rather host a kid, and then you need to grab a fuzzy.
Okay.
Would you rather host a kid-led Q&A where anything goes, and it will, or sit quietly for an hour while 30 kids independently interpret the story of Noah with puppets and pipe cleaners? Which is more spiritually fulfilling?
For me?
Yeah.
Probably question answers, even though that gets pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Just to hear what their take on things is.
Yeah.
And, although I have, my son is 8 and he's a big crafter, so he would have fun with pipe cleaners and doing the whole story.
Yeah.
Probably with a Star Wars theme and Noah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love just any part of the whole kids thing. I love to sit and see what they're thinking and how their brains are working, and where do you have a question? Like, so probably more the interactive, the first one would be my take.
I get that. So this is a choose your own adventure here. So a child interrupts your teaching with, wait, did Jesus have to brush his teeth? Kid question, right?
Yep.
Do you A, laugh and move on, B, turn it into a discussion on Jesus' humanity, or C, open it up to dental theology? Walk us through your strategy.
My first thought, and I have an 8-year-old little boy. And he often asks questions like this. But I always stop and, well, what do you think? Like, if Jesus is fully God and fully man, do you think he brushed his teeth? Like, I don't know what the traditions were at that period of time and culturally, but my guess would be.
I took an extra. It asked me to put it at the top. Sorry, go ahead.
I would probably, like, what do you think? I try to do that. Like, what do you think? Because then you can kind of get to the heart of what is it they're trying to do. And a lot of times it is simply like, was he really a man like us? Yeah. Is that really where we are right now? Yeah. But I think that's what I would do.
Yeah. I love that. I think very often it's easy for us to just answer questions with an answer.
Yes.
But then that doesn't teach them.
It's far more fun to hear where their brain is going.
Yeah. Because it can be so much more advanced than what you believed.
Oh, yes.
That's what I find with Nora. Like, I'll ask things like that, and she's going into conditional logic of the this because of that. And I'm like, oh, girl. Okay.
I was just asking.
Yes.
I just wanted to know.
But I'm glad for the answer. Yeah. But yes. Oh, I love it. So, this is a bit of a more vulnerable one, if you don't mind. So, has there ever been a time when your own faith was shaped, I'm going to cry even asking it, where your own faith has been shaped by a child's trust in God tell us that story.
Yeah, this might be hard. So in the last year, my husband passed away. And prior to that, we had right now we're right at 2 years of dealing with pancreatic cancer. And it's very easy when you're in those moments to ask the why. But I kind of decided early on, like, I don't have to know why. God knows why. God holds it. I don't have to like it. But my children were unbelievable with their faith. And I think that's what got us through. My son is 19, and I remember him saying, we're going to believe God's going to do a complete miracle. And I struggle daily with but what if he doesn't? But what if he doesn't? And his response was, then that'll be okay.
Yeah.
But it's that their faith, my daughter, my son, and my little son, kind of shaped my attitude of, we're going to walk through hard times, but we're going to believe the best is going to come out of this. Exactly. And we can't, even now, we don't understand why the best thing was to take him from us. Yeah. But if God furthers his kingdom, if God saves lives by his life or his death, if God can create in us a faith that is evident to others, then that's where we're going to walk, and that's what we're going to do. And so this whole year has been my children's faith. Mm-hmm. Has shaped mine, because I know the facts and I know the truth, but it's just been a really hard, if a 8, 19, and 20-year-old can be confident in their grief and in their loss of who God is and what he's done, then who am I to say anything else? Oof. So I would say that's a very personal one right now that I'm still walking through.
It's so beautiful. I have been personally moved by Lyn. Mm-hmm. We're just going to do this.
If you start,
she's on the worship team. Uh-huh. She's on the worship team, and sometimes the songs that she's called to sing are very, like, because mm-hmm. Those of us that know, what she's gone through and the path that she's walked, and to watch mm-hmm. her sing the way that she does with such soul and with such reverence, mm-hmm. like, it's just, it's just amazing. Mm-hmm. It's just so lovely to watch, because that's the real stuff right there. It's not, people can say whatever they want to say. I say this, I claim this faith, and I claim this, and, words are words. Mm-hmm. When you deliver like that in a space where she could have easily said, I can't do that, mm-hmm. like, I'm not. But instead, she brought her testimony mm-hmm. to that space. And then, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I think when you walk through the fire and you can come out on the other side and wholeheartedly, without reservation, know that he is God and he is good. And for her, she is very much like her dad. Yeah. And that's pretty quickly after he died. I remember looking at her and saying, how hard is this for you to have lost the one that really gets you? Like, the boys and I are very vocal and loud and kind of obnoxious, and she's very thoughtful and wise, and God just put that on my heart. She's lost the one that really understands her, and that started me on a whole journey of, God, show me what I need to do for her and for Robbie. But to hear you say that every time she sings, I'm floored by it. And it's a spiritual battle for her to get up there and sing, because there is such grief that is going on. But in the grief and in the praise, God meets you with healing. And I understand. Yeah. I don't know how she does it.
Oh, man, it's a gift. It's a real gift. It's a real gift. And I love just being on this subject of in the pain, that's where he meets us with healing. And I have never understood quite so much as in the last couple of years. I lost my mom and my brother really close together, really close together in time. And I have never in my life felt a sense of, you hear about it and you read about the peace that passes understanding, right? And you sing songs about it when you're a kid. Got the peace that passes the understanding down in my heart, right? And I'm like, oh, I just love that line. But I never, I understood it logically, but I had never felt it before. And I remember when I lost mom and then I lost my brother, that I felt it was the most bizarre. I felt like I literally had a buffer between me and not between me and the world. It's not that I was shut off from the world. It was between me and my pain. It was like there's pain that came up to the door that could not enter my heart. It was, and it's the like, you cannot explain it. So it's passes understanding, right? Like you cannot explain it, but whenever you have that, that's the thing that I'm like, not that we only follow Jesus because he makes us feel good or makes us not feel pain. We follow him because we love him, and when you know what he did for you, there's just nothing else to do, right? But he also gifts us things like that. And so in those moments when we get that buffer, is that you have testament to that as well?
I do, and I feel like I'm on this weird roller coaster of life right now, where the grief is so deep sometimes.
Yeah.
But there's such deep grief, and I can't think ahead. That's where and that's God's protection. Like when I start to worry about tomorrow or next week or this or that or the other, immediately there's a wall that comes up, and I have a choice. I can, or a door. I can open that door and let some of these concerns come in and overwhelm me, and I know they will. Or I can just stand behind the door, which is God's protection, I believe, and allow him to absorb that, and I can rest in his promise that he doesn't mean me harm or my children harm. Or it's been especially hard lately because we're going on a year in about 2 months, and so all the things last summer that were going on with us, and at the point where we were praying for answers and praying for, I mean, I had asked God when Kenan got sick, I don't want regrets. I don't want to get to the point where he passes into your arms and I haven't done everything on earth that I could do. Not that I'm going to be able to do anything, but that God took us down a path where we could go to doctors who were the best in the world. And so I feel those deep grief right now. But I feel like while I feel it, I also feel this overwhelming peace. And that's what I try to grab onto, to let the grief go, grab the peace. It's usually only for a minute. And then we take the next turn and it's back and forth. And also to feel it, like, God gave me these emotions, and Jesus was fully God and fully man, so he felt these emotions, and I want my kids to understand that you don't hide it. We cry, we laugh, we get angry, we do a lot of, oh, Dad would hate this, and that makes us laugh, or Dad would love this, and that makes us cry. But there is a peace that's there. And there's a peace knowing that no matter what happens, as much as I want to control all of it, and I try, I have no control. And I just have to rest in that knowledge that God is good and God has us.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Well, we're totally taking a left to an outrageous / funny one. Okay.
I like that.
Okay. If your ministry was turned into a Saturday morning cartoon,
oh my goodness,
what's your superhero name, and what's your sidekick's snack?
My sidekick's snack.
Yeah, what is their snack, and what ridiculous power saves the day?
Well, often my ministry is cartoony chaos.
Yeah.
And it's lots of fun. I would say my sidekick in all of this would be Deb. She and I work together and we run the ministry.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know what her favorite snack would be. The cartoon. Gosh, that's a hard one.
I know. I know.
Cartoony.
So our snack, and then the ridiculous power. I'll come up with a snack for Deb.
Okay, yeah,
You
I don't
you
have it.
think of the ridiculous power that saves the day. Let's just give Deb coffee.
Yes,
Okay.
that would be a good one.
We'll give her coffee.
The power that saves the day is to bring calm.
Yeah.
Like with a word, with a movement, everything calms.
Yes.
Obviously, the most fun part of my job is also the most difficult, which is turning chaos into learning and into activity that has purpose behind it. And so I think if you could have a superpower that you could snap and just would bring a sense of
Yes.
calm, and then you can move on to the next crazy moment. But to regain the sense of who we are, why we're here, and what we're heading for.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. No,
I don't know if that
think-
works.
I think that'll do. That'll do. Whenever you said kind of bring it all down, I'm thinking
Yes.
that's all I can hear.
yes. My go-to is put your hands on your head if you can hear me. It's kind of
Yes.
funny when you watch all the kids all of a sudden, put your hands on your shoulder. It's like, well, okay, it's working. I don't know why it works.
That's amazing. I do that with adults. Do you know that? At
No,
events,
yeah.
At events, I do it with adults, or I'll do the clap twice if you can hear me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's fun because then they usually stop because they're like, "Why is everybody clapping right now?
What have I missed? What did I miss?
Why are they clapping? What just happened?" Okay, so let's see. Well, let's just have this be the last one. So you're building a new, this is an imagine this. So in
Okay.
an imaginary world or a potential world, you're building a new children's wing, unlimited budget. It'll be outside the parking lot, right? The new parking lot needs to happen.
Yeah.
You're building a new children's wing, unlimited budget, unlimited imagination. What 3 features must it have? And what's your one non-negotiable rule for the space? What
That's
3
great.
features? Let's start with that. So what 3 features should I have?
So I would love a large indoor playground with natural light. Like my design for this new wing, which is something we are working
This
on,
is exciting.
would be
Oh my
all the
goodness.
way up. So we have plenty of space and over. So the 2 areas, the preschool and the older kids are connected, but a
Yeah.
huge area inside an outdoor playground with little climbing walls. And I want the sunlight, but I don't want the heat. So that's where I'm like,
Same.
you know, climbing walls and activities that they can run and do, places where moms can sit, dads can sit, benches, shade, just to watch the kids interact and have fun together at church. Like kids love to come to church. My
Yes.
kids have always loved to be there. So to create a place where you can really come and just hang out and play and have fun with your friends and have fun on Sunday. So that would be my idea. That's one area.
That's one. Okay.
I also would love a giant, which we do have, a giant room, but we probably need a bigger one, where we have large group time with worship. And we've got a great room now. We
Yeah.
could use more space because we're filling it up.
I can't believe how fast that's growing.
Yes, it is. And knowing where we're headed, it's like, how do we fit everybody in without ever turning anyone away
Yeah.
or saying we can't do that, we don't have enough room, but how do we do this? So a very large group worship room. And the other thing that's become really evident is a space. We have a little one called the break room. It's an area where kids that have sensory issues,
Oh yeah.
that it's hard for them. We have buddies, and they go into this room where it's a little quieter. They have things to do, the fidgets. They have wall stuff to play on. I'd like something even bigger. I want to
Yeah.
make sure that we fit all ages, all kids, all stages. And with that comes people to jump in to work with us. But
Yeah.
those would probably be, they're big areas.
Yeah.
But would be really, really good. I can envision that.
Yeah.
That would make families happy. It would
Yeah. I
make
love
kids
that.
happy.
That's great. And so I just want to ask this because as you were talking, I just was like, ask this because I think people need to hear this. When have you had, and I know a lot of times people will end up coming to church because their kids come to church and then they're like, oh, well, I'm going to go to, my kid wants to go to church. They're enjoying it. They're getting, good uh, good communication with other kids and good, like they look at that, and then the parents come to church. What do you know any stories of that, or what is a story of that happening, without saying names, of course, but what is a story of that happening that was the most meaningful, where you saw a whole family like dynamic change? Why am I like gonna cry right now? Like a whole family dynamic change, or you just when Jesus takes over a family,
Yes, it changes.
It changes.
It changes everything.
Right.
I'm trying to think of specifics. I mean, over the years, I've been there, and there have been numbers of families that have come because of their kids and have stayed because of their kids. I can think of one situation that's a little bit different. It was a grandma who began to serve with us,
Yeah.
and her grandchildren didn't come. But she just decided this is where God had her, and I watched her wrestle with it a few times. Like, I don't think this is where I should be. They're little kids. And I remember she came to me one Sunday and she said, "Have you heard the service? Have you heard the sermon yet?" And I said no, because oftentimes we can't get in there, but we'll listen to it after. Or, and she said, "You need to hear this." And she said, "I was going to come tell you today that I couldn't do this anymore, that it just didn't fit with what I thought I needed to be doing."
Yeah.
And the pastor preached on generational, generational responsibility. And she told me at that point, she said, "I'm going to keep doing this. I don't know that," she's like, "I'm tired and this is hard." She worked with little kids, but
Yeah.
"I'm going to keep doing this. And I want you to pray that my grandson comes," because he did not come at the time.
Yeah.
And over the course of, months, and she's been with us a couple years, the grandson comes pretty regularly. Her grandchildren's parents, her son comes, and it just to watch, like, that's kind of backwards of what you were saying, but I think when you plug in and you make it a priority to be there, it changes families. It
Yeah.
changes children. It changes parents.
Yeah.
It gives everybody time to learn at their own level. And I'm sure if I could think a little clearer,
Yeah.
I could give you other instances where we had a time recently where church didn't end. I don't know if you were there that day.
I
And-
was there that day. We talked about it on our episode with Luke.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we run so hard and so fast, my team and I, that we don't always know what's going on in there. But we know that while parents are in there, we've got their kids. And so this Sunday, kids were still back there. And we were like, well, this is strange. And then I started getting texts, "Hey, something's happening. Just hang tight." And we ended up taking this little family. There was one family left, sweet family, 4 or 5 kids, and we ended up taking the kids into the parents because they were so in
Yeah.
covered in worship that they didn't realize that others had left. I mean, there were still people in there. And so that family was there until 5 o'clock. They sat there till 4 or 5 o'clock and worshiped. Little kids, mom, dad, big. And it's like, that's what you want. Like, that's why we're here. We're not here. I mean, I certainly am not there for the paycheck, or I'm there for the kids and the
Yeah.
families, but more I'm there so that God can just open his arms and pour out his grace on all of us. And you know what? If we have to be there late, that's okay. If his kids, big kids and little kids, are all worshiping, are all leaning into him, highly recommend it.
Yeah.
But I think in that case, it was a family that just decided, you know what, we all got a lot to do, but let's just sit back and sit. Let's
Yeah.
just sit in his presence. Because when we worship, that's where he is. And so, but yeah, I'm sure there's more. I just can't right now put a name to it.
And I don't, and you guys probably see this, like I don't prepare anybody with questions. I'm notorious for just saying, nope, just
Yep.
show up.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Lyn,
Thank
for
you.
coming. What would you say to a family that maybe they're believers and maybe they're not, but what would you say to a family that is watching this and is like, well, I think that sounds good. What would you say their next step would be?
Try it. Just give us a Sunday.
Your camera's right here on the.
Okay. Give us a minute. Just come in and let your kids experience it. Let your kids see what it's like. You see what it's like, and let's find out. Maybe that's the beginning of steps that you'll never imagine what's going to happen for your family or for your kids. Maybe you're giving them a purpose by doing that, and all in all, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
That is something. Yes, we are there. We are there to show kids the love of Jesus. We are there to make him real to them. We're there to lift him up. And the Bible says, when you lift me up, I'll pull people in.
Yeah.
And so give your children a chance to weigh into this, weigh into the presence of God, weigh into Jesus, even the little ones, because it starts very young, but it can start at any time too.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I feel like I could just sit here and talk to you forever, but I literally could. I think we've proven this before. So thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Guys, this is Lyn Burch, the Director of Children's Ministry of Lifebridge / Quay Church. Going to be Quay Church in September. And we will see you next time. Adios.